HIPAA Omnibus Rule. What is it? Welcome back to the Medcurity Podcast. Today we are looking at a significant update in healthcare compliance, the HIPAA Omnibus Rule. Now this rule brought stronger protections for patient information and increased accountability for both covered entities and business associates. If you work in healthcare or if you handle protected health information, these changes are definitely worth paying attention to. In this episode, we will cover the key updates from the Omnibus Rule, what they mean for your organization, and what steps you need to take to stay compliant. Now, one of the major focuses of the new rule was giving patients more control over their health data. Patients can request faster access to their records, and they get to choose whether they want their information electronically or via paper. Now, healthcare providers are required to respond to these requests more quickly than before. Delays were common in the past, but now patients can hold providers accountable. They can also send their information to third-party apps or personal health records, which means your organization needs to be ready to transfer data securely. So how can you stay ahead? First, let's take a look at your internal processes for handling patient record requests. Make sure your team understands the updated timelines and that your systems can securely handle electronic records. Enforcement is also getting stricter. Non-compliance can lead to hefty fines, and breaches of PHI now come with tougher reporting standards. You've likely dealt with breach reporting before, but now the threshold is focused on whether data was compromised. If there's any chance that PHI was exposed, you're expected to act quickly and report it. You'll need to notify affected individuals, the Department of Health and Human Services, and even the media in some cases. The best way to avoid all of these headaches is to strengthen your security protocols now. It'll save you from fines and the reputational damage of a breach. Another key update. Business associates are now held to the same standards as covered entities. This means that your third-party vendors, whether they're IT providers, cloud services, or billing companies, are just as responsible for protecting PHI as you are. In fact, business associates can face direct enforcement action if they don't comply. This is a game changer, extending HIPAA's reach to include every vendor in your chain of trust. To protect your organization, it is critical to review your business associate agreements. Make sure your vendors understand their responsibilities and have the necessary safeguards in place. Regular audits and security checks are no longer optional. They are essential. So, what does all this mean for you? Well, here are a few steps you can take to stay compliant with the HIPAA Omnibus Rule. Number 1. Update your processes for patient data requests. Ensure that your team knows the new timelines and procedures, and make sure that you can provide records electronically and securely. Number 2, strengthen your breach response plan. Review your current breach notification policies and make sure they align with the new requirements. Speed and transparency are key. Number 3, review your BAAs, your business associate agreements. If you're working with vendors who handle PHI, ensure that they are fully compliant with HIPAA regulations. Regularly assess their security measures. And number 4, implement regular training. This is one of the simplest but most effective ways that you can enhance compliance. Make sure that everyone stays updated on how to handle PHI securely. Remember, staying compliant with HIPAA isn't just about avoiding fines. It's necessary to protect your patients, to maintain their trust. And by taking these steps, you can ensure your organization is being proactive in safeguarding sensitive information. If you have any questions about how the HIPAA Omnibus Rule affects your organization, or if you need help with your security risk analyses, Medcurity is here to help. Reach out to us and we will get you started on that process. Thank you for listening to the Medcurity Podcast. Stay secure, and we will see you next time.